Welcome to PWS United, a podcast for the Prader-Willi syndrome community, brought to you by PWSA USA. This podcast gives the latest news in research, advocacy, and family support by bringing together staff, volunteers, PWS treatment specialists, biotech and pharmaceutical representatives, caregivers, family members, and individuals with PWS. Our goal is to share education, awareness, and resources with those living with PWS and their supporters. Join us in our mission to enhance the quality of life and empower those affected by Prader-Willi syndrome.
Welcome back to another episode of PWS United. I'm here with my co-host, Carrie, and we're going to go through our recent Pulse, Volume 123 from May 16th, 2025. And as you all probably know, May is PWS Awareness Month, and we are so grateful to our community for all of the awareness and the recognition and the education that you all are putting out and supporting each other in doing so. It's been really great, and we are honored and proud to be a part of such a connected, strong, creative, and advocacy-oriented community. So thank you all who are spreading awareness by hosting United We Brunch fundraisers, by sharing the PWS Facts posts, by telling your personal stories, or finding other ways by thinking outside the box. If you are interested in ways to participate in PWS Awareness Month, because we still have a few weeks, you can visit our PWS Awareness Hub. You'll find that link in our show notes. And we wanted to share a few unique ways that some families are helping spread awareness and support for the PWS community. First off, we have awareness in West Virginia with Sherry Mills, mom to Lyra, living with PWS. So Sherry is an incredible crocheter. She creates art with yarn. And so she's been making these blankets, these Afghans, and here's what she has said about her spreading awareness. I've done this 6 years now. I decided when Lyra was 10 months old to use my talent for good. People often don't like to just give money, and I gift Afghans all the time just because I love making them. I combine the two, and each $1 donated gets one chance into a drawing to win a custom Afghan made by me. The pattern is called Better Together, which is perfect because we are better due to those who invest in our Prader-Willi community. The pattern calls for 4 colors, but I've done 2 to 6, and the colors are chosen by the winner, so it's customized to them. My drawing for the Afghan is June 1st, so we will have a link in our show notes if you would like to enter to potentially win one of these beautiful Afghans.
They are so stunning. She shared some photos of these Afghans with us, and oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm amazed by her talents. Go, Sherry.
Yeah, they
I
are
have
incredible.
no idea how she does. I have no idea how she does that.
Well,
Not in my talent wheel for sure.
I see on Facebook she makes sweaters and
Oh, wow.
really cute stuff. Yeah, she's very talented. So yeah, definitely check those out and enter. I'm going to enter in to win some Afghans for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
And then we have awareness in New Hampshire with Elaine Toll, who is mom to James, who's 39, living with PWS, and she is also our PWSA USA advocacy specialist. She donated a PWS book to the Chester Public Library in Chester, New Hampshire. The book she donated was recently released by Miriam Chernick, the sibling of an adult with PWS. The Zuzu's Secret, told in alternating points of view, is about Josie, a 12-year-old aspiring veterinarian, and Abe, her 15-year-old baseball-loving brother born with a rare disease called Prader-Willi syndrome, as they learn the risks of keeping secrets and the value of family while staying true to their dreams.
That's so sweet. What a good idea. I love donating books to libraries or schools, your child's class, if that's an option, community centers. It's such a good idea. It really does raise that awareness.
Yeah. And we'll have a link to that book in the show notes. Definitely check it out. It's a really sweet one. So moving on to PWSA memories. Well, this is a history of PWS Awareness Day. So on May 2nd, 1995, the President and Vice President of the United States and their wives, Bill and Hillary Clinton, and Al and Tipper Gore, Tipper in quotes because that's what people called her, but that wasn't her name, if I remember correctly, along with members of both the House and Senate, learned about Prader-Willi syndrome as part of the first ever National Prader-Willi Syndrome Awareness Week. And you can read the article in the February 1995 issue of the Gathered View, and that would be volume 20, number 1. And that will be in our show notes. Years later, U.S. Congressman Paul D. Tonko, a Democrat from New York, and Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar, a Republican from Florida, filed a joint resolution declaring May 15th, 2023, and every May 15th thereafter, Prader-Willi Syndrome Awareness Day in the U.S.
That is forever going to be one of my most favorite moments of working for PWSA USA was seeing at the 2022 DC fly-in the asks that all of our community members were giving around the PWS Awareness Day proclamation, and to see it come to fruition the next year was even, I think it was just months after that because we went later in the year in 22. And it came together pretty quickly, and it was such a special moment. So shout out to all of those awesome advocates for such important work and getting it across the finish line there.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So, our spotlight on hope this week comes from mom Jamie Caldwell, who has found a unique way to celebrate her daughter Lydia, who is 3 living with PWS, and PWS Awareness Month. She teamed up with Christina Reiger, who is the owner and founder of Dahlia's Dreamers, a quote, program designed to promote inclusivity, bring awareness to the families of children with special needs and their incredible journeys, and to support the organizations that serve these families, end quote. Through this business, families can design an outfit based on their loved one's personality, participate in a photo session with Megan Grace Photographs, and help financially support an organization of their choice. Jamie said, the families that participated in the photo sessions were able to choose a foundation or organization that 10% of the sales of all items would be donated to. In addition, Lydia and I were able to design a dress that we felt best represented her, but also other children living with PWS. All proceeds from the specific dress design will go to PWSA. So you can learn more about Dahlia's Dreamers, view the dress designs, and read more about Jamie and Lydia's story by finding that link in our show notes.
She is so adorable.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh. And
She
that dress
really
is awesome. Wow. What a cool idea. All right, moving on to events and fundraisers. We are just a little over 30 days away from the 2025 International PWS Conference, people. It is coming close. Get excited. Heck yes.
Because we're excited.
We are so excited. Yes. It's been a couple years, honestly, of since our 2023 conference, we've been working on this conference. So it's taken a lot of time, a lot of people, a lot of energy, effort, all the things to get to this point and to be, have a great, incredibly successful conference alongside IPSO and FPWR for the first time all three organizations have come together. So hopefully a lot of people are able to make it out. I know we have a little over 1,200 people registered at this point, which
Wow.
is amazing, incredible. And a little less than 200 of them are from from other countries or international attendees. So you'll be able to mingle and meet with families and medical professionals from all over the world, which I think is such a cool and unique aspect of this specific conference. So
I'm really excited for that part.
yeah, same. So we really wanted to make sure people know that the three main programs of this conference, the high level schedules are now available for download. We will have all three linked in the show notes. That's our family program, which is happening Friday, Saturday, and then our clinical and scientific program and professional provider programs that are happening Wednesday and Thursday. And they give a great overview of all of the great sessions happening, what times they're happening. The only thing missing are the speakers, which are still being finalized a little bit. So we're going to have that full detailed agenda with speakers coming out soon, hopefully in the next couple weeks. And we will share that when they're ready. And I also want to make sure people who are planning to come to conference, keep an eye on your inbox, your email inbox, because in the coming weeks, we're going to be sharing very important conference information, including access to our mobile app, and then an in-depth attendee welcome packet, and even more to help you prepare for an unforgettable experience. So keep your eyes on your inbox. Moving on now to an event we are so excited about.
So
We
excited.
cannot stop talking about it. And last week we were able to put out the ticket link and the that had more details about this to the public. So we can officially share what it is and how to learn more and get your tickets. Parents Aaron Weber and Lucy Sinsheimer, whose daughter Olive is newly diagnosed with PWS, are diving right into the PWS community. They have already created an incredible opportunity for awareness and fundraising, along with enjoyment and laughs. The event is called Prader Silly, a night of rare laughs. It's going to be happening on October 22nd at the Zanies Comedy Club in Nashville, Tennessee. So get ready, get excited, buy your tickets. And just to pull a little blurb off of their ticket website here to give a little more detail, it says, join Aaron Weber, who's a comedian, and a top secret celebrity lineup of nationally acclaimed comics for an evening of laughs for a cause. This is more than a comedy show. It's a night of gathering, giving, and gut-busting laughter. That sounds so promising. I love it. Featuring a powerhouse lineup of top-tier comedians, a silent auction packed with unforgettable prizes, and several surprise guest performers we're keeping tucked in our back pocket. Shh. Reading this verbatim. Whether you come for the laughs, the love, or the chance to stand up for a rare cause, this is your invitation to show up for PWS families and others on a rare disease journey. So learn more about Prader Silly, a night of rare laughs, and how you can participate by visiting the link in our show notes. And just a big thank you to Lucy and Aaron for all of their hard work on this and for being willing to step up,
Mhm.
early in their journey.
Yeah.
It's inspiring to witness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. And I have now gone down the rabbit hole of watching Aaron, some comedy on YouTube. He's so funny. I
Yes,
really love it.
I he's hysterical. I on the actually ticketing website for Potter Silly, there's a clip of him on Jimmy Fallon
Oh,
doing
nice.
a little stand-up, and it is hysterical. It's so relatable and
Uh-huh,
just so
uh-huh.
perfect. So check it out while you're there. And we encourage you to also check out another video. Lucy and Aaron actually went on WSMV4, a local Nashville channel, to talk about the Prader-Willi event and to spread awareness about Prader-Willi syndrome. They did this actually on May 15th, PWS Awareness Day, and they both gave an incredible nod to PWSA USA's support as they begin their PWS journey. And again, you can watch that interview at the ticketing webpage or the link. We'll link it as well in our show notes. But
Yeah.
just go, Aaron and Lucy. Y'all are awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I've had some messages with Lucy. She is enjoying the podcast, so that's really exciting
Love
too.
that.
I love hearing that we're
Thanks
reaching
for
people.
listening, Lucy.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. All right. We also want to give a shout out to all of the amazing people hosting a United We Brunch event in honor of PWS Awareness Month. And we're doing these spotlights periodically as they happen. And today we want to put a spotlight on Desi T for Prader-Willi in Maryland. So Deanie Rao, mom to Ione, who's 8, living with PWS, hosted a very successful United We Brunch fundraiser for PWS Awareness Month. Desi T for Prader-Willi was on May 4th at the Rao home in Maryland. Neighbors, community members, and local PWS families gathered together for samosas, pakoras, chai, PWS awareness, and community. And Deanie said, we had over 50 people attend, and I feel we met our goal of creating more awareness and empathy for those living with Prader-Willi syndrome. I'm so grateful I had the chance to host, and it truly filled my cup. And you can read the full recap of Deanie's amazing event and see pictures, and also find upcoming United We Brunch events and learn how to host your own at the links in our show notes.
All right, moving on to advocacy. PWS advocates were in DC to represent the needs and the rights of the disability community. So from May 5th through the 8th, 6 of our PWSA USA advocacy ambassadors joined forces with the Council of Parent Attorneys and Advocates and key partners from the rare disease industry to advocate for critical issues affecting individuals with PWS and the broader rare disease community on Capitol Hill. Over the course of several days, our ambassadors met with members of Congress and their staff to advance the following priorities: protecting Medicaid for individuals with disabilities, preserving federal education funding, safeguarding the Rare Pediatric Disease Priority Review Voucher, or the PRV program, and supporting the Orphan Drug Tax Credit. With this update is a call to action. One of the most powerful tools we have in advocacy is our story. Personal experiences help lawmakers understand the real world impact of their decisions. So, we would like to invite you all to share your PWS journey with us. And there will be a link to this article in the show notes. And in that article, there will be a link to share your story with us. And these stories will be submitted and shared with elected officials to drive home the urgent need for support and services. So, please, please, please participate in this action. Very important stuff for our community and beyond. We also had an exciting proclamation day in New York. On April 29th, 2025, the New York State Senate adopted Resolution J809, which was introduced by Senator Jake Ashby, officially designating May 15th as Prader-Willi Syndrome Awareness Day in New York State. Senator Ashby used to work with adults with PWS, so this resolution, aiming to raise public awareness about PWS, is close to home for him. The resolution also acknowledges the vital role of organizations such as the Prader-Willi Alliance of New York Incorporated and the National Prader-Willi Syndrome Association in providing support, promoting awareness, and facilitating research. These organizations have been instrumental in advocating for individuals with PWS and their families, offering resources, and fostering a community of support. The resolution highlights the leadership of individuals like Stacy Ward, our CEO, and Jeff Covington, a board member representing New York, and Amy McDougall, president of Prader-Willi Alliance of New York, in advancing the mission of these organizations. By proclaiming May 15th as Prader-Willi Syndrome Awareness Day, New York State demonstrates its commitment to supporting individuals with PWS and their families, promoting research for effective treatments, and fostering an inclusive society that recognizes and addresses the challenges faced by those living with this condition. Joining Stacy in the Senate gallery when Senator Ashby spoke to the importance of the resolution were Amy and Harry McDougall and their children Noelle, living with PWS, and Logan, Sarah and Matthew Burness, and their daughter Lexi, who is living with PWS, and PWSA USA board member Jeff Covington. So thank you to the families and advocates who showed up to help celebrate and drive home the need for PWS awareness.
On to family support now. Our first section here is, once again, a beautiful highlight on one of our Adults with PWS Advisory Board members. In this pulse, we highlighted Connor Hayback, who is 44 years old and lives with Prader-Willi syndrome. He resides in Chicago and has been on the Adults with PWS Advisory Board since 1996. Annie, that's amazing.
That is so amazing.
Oh, Connor,
It's a
he's
long time.
amazing. Wow.
Yes.
So, again, in an effort to learn more about our adults with PWS and to shine a light on their lives and experiences, we asked our advisory board members some questions, and Connor had a great answer to one of them that we called out in this pulse. He said, I teach and coach chess at Altus Academy in Chicago, Illinois. I have advocated on the state and federal level for PWSA USA, and I have seen him do that in person, in action, and he is fantastic at it. So keep doing what you're doing, Connor. You're doing great things. And you can read more about Connor at the link in our show notes. We also want everyone to know that the webinar recording of financial planning with Ivilo Grigorov is now available for viewing. It was called Creating Financial Security for a Loved One with PWS, and we encourage those who did not attend the live webinar to watch the recording when you have time, because it's incredibly educational and covers topics including an overview of supplemental security income, Social Security disability insurance, Medicaid and waivers, ABLE accounts, special needs trusts, and a lot of other important considerations to help family members better understand how planning for a child with special needs is different both legally and financially. So again, a big thank you to Ivilo for putting this on. He is a financial advisor and also parent to Luca, who is 8 and diagnosed with PWS. And we'll have a link to the webinar in our show notes. Moving on now to our Ask Nurse Lynn of the week. This question was submitted on behalf of a female who is 7 years old with an unknown subtype. And the question submitted was, does the identification of PWS by genetic testing of PWS give conclusive results? In other words, your child either has or doesn't have PWS. Does a child with PWS gain weight even if her caloric intake is restricted, would a quote, less than normal, end quote, caloric intake still result in weight gain? And Lynn had a great response to this, and you can read what she said at the link in our show notes. And while you're there, you can also submit your own non emergency medical question about Prader-Willi syndrome.
All right, so we're going to move on to research, and this first one is happening the day this podcast comes out. So if you're up on your podcast and you're listening, then you'll know about this. So it is a free webinar for Aardvark's Hero clinical trial, and this is just an informational and important webinar to learn more about Aardvark's Hero clinical trial for ARD 101, a potential treatment for hyperphagia and behavioral disturbances in PWS. And this is happening Tuesday, May 20th at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can learn about the Hero Phase 3 clinical trial. You can find out where trial sites are located and which are currently open and actively enrolling participants. And you can ask direct questions of the Aardvark team. So if you're getting this in time and you want to sign up, you'll find that link in the show notes. If you've missed it, but you want to learn more, Aardvark Therapeutics has created a website for families to learn more about HERO, which means Hunger Elimination or Reduction Objective Study. So families can explore the website to find more details about the study, including trial site locations, requirements to participate, FAQs, and more. So the link to that will be in the show notes. Here's a reminder that Dr. Destiny Pasha from the Chicago School is looking for study participants for the educational trends of students with PWS. And this is to learn about current trends in school placement, specialized instruction, related services, and educational supports provided to students with PWS under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. If you want to learn more about this, in a previous episode, we got to interview Dr. Destiny Pasha. So if you're interested in learning more and hearing Destiny talk about it herself, you can go back and listen to PWS United episode 40 to learn more about that. And there will be a link to the survey in the show notes. We also still have our ongoing clinical scholarships available and our call for letters of intent. There will be links to learn more about those in the show notes. We've talked about them in previous podcasts. So if you want to check that out, you can go back and listen to a couple older podcasts. And that's that.
That's research. And then to end here, we have a PWSA USA resource spotlight that we want to share. Gastrointestinal or GI issues are common in individuals with PWS. From a young age, there are signs and symptoms parents and caregivers must become aware of. Vomiting, diarrhea, and belly aches can all be signs that something more serious is happening with your loved one. This is not meant to be a cause for alarm, but an opportunity for education and action. PWSA USA has a GI algorithm chart to help families and medical providers determine the best plan of action if your loved one is showing symptoms of GI issues. And we have a link to download this GI algorithm at the link in our show notes. And I know, Annie, it's helped so many people in the past in all kinds of situations. So, really good to have on hand.
Yeah. We're going to close out this pulse by honoring the memory of a very beloved and valued PWS community member, Jim Gardner. We are deeply saddened to share the news of the passing of Jim Gardner, a beloved and instrumental figure in the history of PWSA USA. Jim's unwavering dedication and tireless advocacy laid the foundation for much of the work we continue today. As one of the organization's earliest champions, Jim helped shape PWSA USA into a national voice for individuals with Prader-Willi syndrome and their families at a time when few resources or support networks existed. Jim served as a PWSA USA board member from 1995 to 2004, 3 of those years serving as our treasurer. Jana Lee Heineman said, Jim Gardner was not an upfront and center stage person, but was a part of the bedrock foundation of PWSA USA. With a background in banking, I counted on him as a treasurer for years to keep our finances, and me, in line. Jim was not one to look for glory. I will always remember him as the faithful person behind the booth, selling PWSA logo items at conferences for many years, and then helping Joan with the IPSO booths. They were not only PWS parents devoted to Larry, but also partners in all things PWS. Jim, along with his wife Joan, hosted the first PWSA USA and IPSO combined conference in 2001. They were integral to the creation of the PWSA Minnesota chapter and partnered with Fausta and Jean Dieterling to support the Oakwood residents, an agency providing residential care to individuals with PWS. Many of their programs are now operated by AME Community. Jim's legacy is one of compassion, vision, and leadership. His work helped bring together a community of families, professionals, and advocates who remain connected through the mission he so strongly believed in. His passing is a profound loss, but his impact will continue to guide and inspire us for years to come. His memorial service will be held on Monday, June 2nd, 2025 at 11 a.m. at St. John and the Wilderness Episcopal Church, and that's at 2175 First Street, White Bear Lake, Minnesota. So thank you, Jim, for all of your work and your dedication to the PWS community.
Yeah, Jim was, as it stated, integral to so many things that happened throughout decades of work. So he's very special, and he will always be very special.
We hope that his memory brings you all comfort.
It will really live on in all of the work that we continue to do at PWSA USA. Thank you for listening to this episode of PWS United. If you want to learn more about Prader-Willi syndrome and how PWSA USA is making strides in advocacy, family support, and research, visit www.pwsausa.org. And while you're there, we encourage you to sign up for our Pulse email newsletter to stay informed about the latest news, resources, and events. Don't forget to subscribe to the PWS United podcast so you never miss an episode. Our team is always available to support families and their loved ones living with PWS 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can call us at 941-312-0400 or email info@pwsausa.org. Catch a new episode next Tuesday, and until then, have a great week.